What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown to the Geekcast. My name is Steady, and with me on this episode is one and only MattyB.
I can't crack a beer today. We're gonna sip some wine. Hey, good to see you guys.
It's
Damn.
just as good. It's just as good.
The-
And we're celebrating, Kenobi Part 5.
Oh yeah,
fancy that, sir. Fancy that.
And joining us once again, all the way from Alamo City Movie Talk, it's Ryan.
What's going on, San Antonio? What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Fantastic. Today's exciting, right? Today we are talking all about Part 5 of the Kenobi series. Hopefully you've watched it. This is going to be our Kenobi Part 5 spoiler discussion. If you're witnessing this video right now, if you're in the chat, we want to hear from you. Rudy, I see you, bro. I see you. Rudy's always the first one here. Rudy, what's going on,
He's
man?
always the first one. Well, Joseph is not far behind him. That's for sure.
Joseph's always the second one.
He's gonna be coming with the jokes too.
Joe, please tell me you've seen the episode already, Joe. Please.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be our Part 5 spoiler discussion. We're going to talk about the episode, talk about how epic it was. It's one of the best, if not the best episode. And then we're also going to get into some theories about how we think the Kenobi series will end. And I'm assuming it's going to end with one more episode because I don't see a season 2 coming after this. But we'll talk about all that in just a second. You know how we do this. We're going to start out with a summary of Part 5. And again, we want to hear from you guys. So drop your thoughts about Kenobi in the chat. And Part 5 goes a little something like this. We open on a young Anakin about to spar with Kenobi. We jump to the present right as their sabers clash. Reva has been promoted to Grand Inquisitor for tracking Kenobi and Leia to Jabim. Leia's droid locks the bay doors so that none of the refugees or Kenobi can escape before the Empire arrives. During the siege, we find out that Reva was one of the younglings as at the Jedi Temple when Anakin attacked, just as MattyB predicted, by the way. And she was playing both sides and now is waiting for her opportunity to kill Lord Vader. Reva eventually breaches the blast doors, and during the firefight, Tala is hit and sacrifices herself to save everyone. Desperate, Kenobi hands himself over to Reva, and the two discuss a coup to kill Vader. As the Dark Lord arrives, he heads into the compound and force pulls a ship trying to escape. It's a decoy, as the real ship takes off while Vader's distracted. It is at this moment that Reva goes in for the kill, but Vader stops her. The two battle it out until she is eventually impaled. And who decides to return back from the dead? None other than the Grand Inquisitor himself. Before she succumbs to her wounds, she finds Kenobi's communicator with the partial recording of Bail Organa speaking of Anakin's twin children. Luke may now be in danger. Matt, how much did you love this episode, sir?
I liked a lot about it. I mean, showing how masterful Vader was with the Force again, and even a callback to, the video games, and seeing Vader pull that ship down, as brutal as he could be. I did, though. I don't know. It was good, but I mean, it's like, first of all, why did it take this long to get there? Why did it take this long to get here?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And this episode did give me Reva, though. Now the story makes sense because I thought this the whole time. I didn't think she was fully sold on the dark side. I think she wanted to kill Vader. And that came out, and the way that he was going about it and all of that stuff was really awesome. Don't get me wrong. But just sticking Leia in a duct in the roof, and so she's figuring something out in a mysterious web of wires. And just a couple things in the episode. Tala, there's so many callbacks to other episodes. Tala killing herself was very much like in The Mandalorian when the droid sort of sacrificed himself. When Reva and the stormtroopers are coming in to try to infiltrate the cave that they're in, it's very reminiscent to The Last Jedi. a lot of these things are
Yeah.
Don't
are
mention
I
that
very
get
movie.
that.
similar plot lines that they've used before, and so I thought that was okay. I loved 65% of this episode, and most of that was Vader doing harm.
Mhm.
There you
That
go.
makes
There you
sense.
go. Ryan, same question, sir. How much did you love, or maybe didn't love, part 5? Go for it, man.
I'm at a split right now, man. I really am.
Ooh.
I enjoyed so much, but at the same time, I disliked so much. Again, was just the way it goes to like behind the scenes stuff, which is like just the special effects and all that. I mean, not that Vader scene, the one the ship, but it's more of a sense to where just small little touches they really could have done, and they gotten lazy. You could tell this is a TV show. But again, though, it's just small little details here. I mean, young Anakin, he's not young. He doesn't look young. He looks a lot older than expected. He looks older than Obi-Wan, which is crazy to me. He does. It weird. Ewan McGregor is aged like fine wine versus Anakin, who hated Christian shit. He just looks older now. And but I get. Let's put that into context. So I really enjoyed that duel but at the same time though, I kind of hated the way they kept clipping it. They kept clipping it throughout the whole episode, kind of putting us in and out of it, and it made sense to a certain degree. I was right on one thing, was that Reva's character was just pointless. And I just, I just did not, I didn't. Again, it has nothing to do with the actress whatsoever. I just couldn't believe certain things. And obviously, I mean, we are talking about spoilers, knowing that the Grand Inquisitor, that to me was like, from the beginning, whenever she did kill, I think it was like, when did she do? When did she attempt to kill the Grand Inquisitor? Episode 2, episode 3,
That was episode 2.
2. So episode 2, I was so mad because I was all like, wait, this is supposed to be the Grand Inquisitor from the books, from Rebels. Like, how is this guy not smart? And to a sense to where, because he is casually smart. No, he really is.
Yeah.
He's a smart ass. He really is. And he makes that really known in the series. So I mean, I'm gonna say that, like, small details there, but I did enjoy so much of Darth Vader in here, ripping everything apart. I enjoyed so much of the Force reckoning here. But again, though, I just did not like Reva's character. I didn't. Not one bit. And making her the Grand Inquisitor didn't make any sense to me. But whatever. All you have to do is track a Jedi. That's easy to become the Grand Inquisitor. But again,
Well, nobody else was able to do it.
I mean, have they not been hunting Jedi this whole time? Have they not been tracking Jedi?
Kenobi was the
Okay,
only
not
one that mattered.
not
I
Kenobi.
feel you. I
But
feel you. But that's the only one Vader cares about.
But also,
Yeah, I guess I
it
agree.
was at the end of the episode. What I took from it was, and Ted, we don't want to skip your thoughts at all.
We lost Ryan.
No, keep talking. We're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I was under the impression. Is he coming back there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll come back. Sorry, changing battery.
No, I'm not gonna continue until you're on camera.
Oh, why?
No, the pressure's on now.
Oh no! The fight is on. I'm sorry. I do apologize.
No, it's all good. I was gonna say I'm under the impression at the end of the episode that Vader and the Grand Inquisitor were in on just setting up Reva to get Kenobi, and then the Grand Inquisitor thing, they were playing her on that side of it too. It wasn't
that made sense. I agree, that makes sense, but
Absolutely.
at the same time, though, I was just like, oh, why? Like, why? It's like Vader just, I don't know. I kind of think that Vader's just, this is his prime, and obviously this showed that this is his prime. Why does he need to use a youngling? And then that context too, it didn't make any sense. Whenever Reva was telling Obi-Wan the story, was like, I played dead. What do you mean you play dead? How, if you're a Force, if you deal with the Force, how do you what are you talking about? Oh, whenever Obi-Wan, they mentioned so many times in Clone Wars, and they mentioned so many times in, like, they sense the Force. They can know when someone's alive and they're dead, whether you're the Sith or whatever, whether you're the dark side, the light side. It's just the geek side of me that really comes out of it, like the geek critique of it. But yeah,
you can cut yourself off. So, like, in
but
comics and stuff, if you don't use it, if you choose to, like, kind of stay away from it, the harder it is for somebody to sense you. or like sense you at all. So we kind of know a few of those things.
But she was a
But
youngling, so I mean, she's not that. She would have known that.
and she probably, yeah, probably not,
I
probably
just
not.
think
Yeah.
I just like honestly, I just get down to it being as practical as I can about laser sword wielding wizards and all the other things in Star Wars. So I do try to ground it to a point of there's practical things that can happen and can't. This is a crazy scene during Order 66. Anakin's adrenaline is pumping through like crazy because his
Mhm.
transition into that order that he took is insane.
Quick.
The short amount of time,
Yeah.
and so I think it was a chaotic scene. I don't think that every I was dotted and every T was crossed. I think he was just coming through and doing as much damage as possible in the shortest amount of time. So I
Yeah.
think there had to have been remaining folks.
Well, I mean, he did confirm though. He's all like, "I let you live." He did confirm it. He said it at the very end.
Yeah, that's
So
just a
yeah,
manipulative thing, though, right? Where it's like he's just manipulating her
I
as
I
an
think he
authority
did.
figure.
I think he knew she was a youngling the whole time. Because I mean,
Oh
to
yeah, yeah,
be
yeah, for
yeah,
Oh yeah,
sure.
yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
think
So
he recruited her.
yeah, true. And again, though, just small again, just small little details there, and then the grand now showing the Grand Inquisitor that made sense to me, and that was like, wait, just I was just like, wait, Disney, what did you just do? Okay, first you did Last Jedi wrong, you brought Leia back to life, and it just started. I was just like really in a context of Star Wars mythology, it's always been Darth Maul who's made it out alive, who's made it out alive really.
Mhm.
Um, in a weird and that's why I loved it because it was just like, oh, he's the only one that survived a lightsaber. He's the only one that survived a chaotic death, right? Besides Mace Windu, who's rumored, of course. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Disney's trying to make this happen too many times to where like, oh, you think they're dead? Oh no, we brought them back to life. I mean,
Well, it turns
no
into
one
a Dragon Ball
dies
Z thing. It turns into Dragon Ball Z. Now it doesn't even
or it
matter who
just
dies
turns into
because you just
Marvel.
get a
Like,
halo and you still fight and everything's normal.
yeah,
Dying
I
doesn't matter.
I don't think. Have you ever seen that Robot Chicken episode where the Batman's like up on the thing? He's like saying, "Well, goodbye, Green Arrow, or whatever. You'll be missed." And then at the very end, he's all like, "Screw this. You know, it doesn't matter. We're gonna go find another multiverse of you somewhere else in another multiverse." And yeah, so again, I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll find another in another galaxy far, far away. They'll find another um, Obi-Wan, or another Mace Windu, or another Darth Maul somewhere.
The only critique, the only thing that I sort of wasn't 100% on board with is bringing back the Grand Inquisitor. Now I'm actually happy though because I'm a huge fan of Rupert Friend. I loved him on Homeland. So the fact that he's back on the series is like, okay, cool. You didn't just waste his character. He's actually getting to do some more. Now the context of how he comes back or whatever, like I'm not 100% on board with. It's like you're not going to try to explain it for us, but no, it's fine. I'll let that go. I absolutely love and was waiting for the flashbacks. And I
Yeah.
was actually, I would have preferred that they did like, you know how they were chopping all these up? I would have
Mhm.
preferred like you gave us the first
The
chop in the first episode, the second chop in the second episode. Like
ah,
start.
I don't
It
know.
would have
See,
been a little bit better for me. And
okay,
then you get this one at the end of it where it's like, the thing your not willingness, your drive to win is your
obsession. Yeah.
downfall. Is yeah, your obsession to win is your
Mhm.
downfall. And that would have happened in this one. Now not necessarily the thing that he didn't learn because he kind of does win, and it's maybe because
Hmm.
it wasn't his obsession to win, but he's using someone else in order to achieve what he wants to in Riva, you know? So maybe it's actually Anakin learning from his training because he's not just trying to do everything himself, being overly aggressive, but actually
True.
using
I mean,
somebody else as a tool. He has a reason to keep Riva around. She was a youngling. Perhaps Kenobi or the other Jedi who were sort of masters would have had a need to
mhm.
save her or to find her or to rescue her. Whatever the reason is, maybe we'll get one in the final episode. Maybe we won't.
So
Um,
going back to that though, real quick, was that it didn't make sense to me as far as her character. Again, has nothing to do with Moses Ingram because I seen her Macbeth. She's phenomenal Macbeth. Apple and again though, it's just other movies I've seen her in. She's really good actress. But with this one, she just felt flat with me. I didn't believe her as an Inquisitor. It was just too forced. Again, it was just probably could have been the way that she was written, and also the obsession. Why was she obsessed with Kenobi for so long? If Anakin was the one that killed all her friends or family, it didn't make any sense to me. And I get it. Okay, I get it. You're mad at the master because the master was you were in charge of the Padawan, whatever. Wouldn't you be upset at both though?
Well,
No,
but
I think
can I tell you, she doesn't have. The reason is because she doesn't have a shot. Without Kenobi, she has no shot.
See,
No, listen,
it's
listen,
all in the
listen.
head, dude. It's
No,
all
no,
in.
no. She doesn't get close to Vader, though. I think that's the whole point. You
Mm.
don't get to the right hand of Vader unless you earn that spot. I don't think all the Inquisitors are meeting with Vader like on a monthly basis. Like, hey guys, team meeting. Let's check out like how many Jedi we've killed this month. No,
Yeah.
I think like the only way you actually get to speak to Vader at all is if you get to a certain status. If you're not that Grand Inquisitor, you don't have an opportunity. And Vader's also not going to be blinded by his hate for Kenobi. This was her
Oh.
only shot. This was her only shot, unless she maybe finds Yoda. I don't know, but
Well, I
this
wrapped
was
it
her only shot.
in my mental pretzel. I have I've organized it this way.
Yeah,
Riva does not want to be Vader's second hand. I don't think that at all. I don't think
but
she
not
wants to be on
anymore.
the dark
Yeah,
side. I
yeah,
think she's wanted to kill him for a long time. She doesn't
that's it.
hate Obi-Wan. What she knows is she hates Obi-Wan because of the legend of Obi-Wan. As a young Padawan in these temples, you know about a few Jedis. Most of them are on the council. You know about a few of them, and your whole life and everything, you think they're meant to protect you. The masters, the council, all of that did not protect the younglings. She's mad at the council. She's mad at Obi-Wan for being on the council, being a legend, and not helping her. And she's mad at Darth Vader, too. She wants to kill him. And that's all she cares about. And I still think there might be part of her storyline is there's a
Mhm.
friend that also survived, but they had to split up in order to survive. I think she's probably looking for somebody.
See, I would
I have
agree to that
frozen in
context.
amber in the tomb.
I would agree to that context if, like, let's be honest here, Obi-Wan is not as famous as Yoda. So, like, if it would have made more sense if she would have mentioned Yoda in some type of context. If you're going back to that youngling age, again, it has to all connect. I mean, it has to all connect in that context. So, I mean, I agree. I get it. Like, she was upset because Obi-Wan, the legend of Obi-Wan, and all that. But how did you not like? Why wouldn't you try to be obsessed with Yoda either? Or with the true, I mean, everyone knew Yoda. I mean, everybody did.
Well, because Kenobi is the only common denominator between her world right now. So her
Yeah.
anger at not being helped and her want to control Vader through if she can get him obsessed about something, maybe she could find a chink in the armor enough to take him down. Kenobi is of all of the other Jedi is the only common denominator. I think that's the cause of her obsession.
Real quick, Brett's in the chat. He says, I liked how Kenobi made the comment about Anakin's hot-headedness and not staying calm, and that's why he's still a Padawan during the
Oh
lightsaber
yeah.
training, and how it tied into A New Hope when Vader says, "When I loved you," I can't do Vader voice right now. When I loved you, I was but the learner, but now I am the master. With the older Vader that learned more control. Yeah, absolutely. And Matt's fighting with Joseph in the chat. Joseph
Yeah.
says multiverse doesn't work in Star Wars.
Oh, because I was
Justin,
being
what are you talking
I was being
about?
sarcastic. Sorry, I was being sarcastic in
Matt
that.
Matt
And
doesn't know what he's talking about. Joe,
Hey.
we're
you're
starting.
taxed. You're taxed, Joe.
Sh-
You need to put in coins. Coins, Joe.
Yeah.
shots
You're
fired. Pew
taxed.
pew pew pew.
You're taxed, Joe. Joe's being taxed. If you want to continue, you need to donate 100 coins, Joe.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. Let's see here. Listen, I love the fighting styles. We get sort of their Duel of the Fates moves anytime I see a twist or a turn or
The behind the
a,
back
a
Anakin move.
lightsaber.
So
Yeah,
I
lightsaber
love that
spin.
fight, but I
I
hated the
love it.
background. I hated the background.
The
That
background
there was it
is
was
wait,
such
wait. Are you talking about
TV.
this?
It
Are you
was
talking about
such
part five?
yeah, like the background of the duel
It's
between.
It's like the masters. It's like where the
it
masters
just
sit.
it looked too digital, man. It just looked way too like it just looked low budget. That's all I'm saying.
It's probably the same technology they've been using in
I think they
Mandalorian this whole
intentionally
time.
did that to make it look like the prequels.
Maybe, perhaps. No,
could have done
definitely,
touches.
because this definitely happens before episode
I
2.
think they dumbed down the technology even to make it look like the prequels.
There you go.
Seriously.
There you go.
I mean, come
There
on.
you go.
I mean, they could have, and then the major complaint I've been seeing is just the Hayden Christensen, and then and of course the background thing, which made sense to me because I was just more annoyed with that. I was like, Hayden looks freaking old as hell.
They should have done de-aging.
Dude,
I agree with that.
I mean, come on, they did it with Mark Hamill. Crazy how they did it with him, and they couldn't do it with Hayden Christensen. Beats my eye. I don't know.
They were probably over budget by now.
It's just so this has to take place before episode 3.
It's episode 3, yeah, obviously.
Because
Before episode 2.
No, it's episode.
No.
Yes, because Anakin loses his hand
Arm
at the
to
end of
Count
episode
Dooku
2, so
at the end
it
of
has to
episode 2.
happen before episode 2.
Does he have his hand?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he fights with Count
I'm trying
Dooku.
to remember. Dang, I'm trying to remember.
He fights with
Yeah,
Count
yeah, he
Dooku,
does.
and Count Dooku takes his arm off. And that was
Joseph.
episode 2. Because at
was
the beginning of
yeah.
episode 3, we get him beheading Count Dooku in a bit of a.
Oh, you're right.
With the robot arm, yeah.
I like
So-
Joseph's comment.
It's up there.
That's why
That makes sense.
But no, he did look good. But given
he looked good enough.
they could have
for
pulled
me,
it
for
off
me.
on an episode 3 flashback. But when
True.
you're taking us back to this the first half of episode 2 that this had to take place in, it's just it looks a little too old for that.
I know,
I
yeah, it has nothing to do with
good.
him. Yeah, has nothing to do with him. It just felt very unrealistic. They could have done something. I'm just saying they could have done something. A little bit, little touches, little makeup.
I agree with Ted though. The idea of having rolled out these flashbacks is also sort of an overarching narrative of what was going on in the show. So whatever lesson or whatever Obi-Wan was talking to Anakin about during this duel had something to do with each of the episodes. I think that would have been really cool, splicing it up.
Now you couldn't have done it until Kenobi actually knows that Anakin's alive. So
Yeah,
it would
so
have
after
made
episode
sense
2.
in like episode 1. He finds out
Wow.
episode 3, perhaps. So
Of what?
at that point,
He finds
it's
out
a
the
series.
end of episode
the end.
2.
Yeah, the end of episode 2. Remember whenever
End of episode 2.
where
That's right. The
whenever
very,
they
very end.
killed the Grand Inquisitor.
Okay, so yeah, so you would have had to have started the flashbacks in episode 3 because at the end of episode 2, he kind of he finds out that Anakin's still alive. Gentlemen, let's talk about theories now. Can I first say I
What?
know Ryan has talked about Reva is a little not worthless, but doesn't have a big point in this series, and I'm going to tell you why she's here. And I'm also going to try and theorize what I think is going to happen at the end. The reason why Reva is here, probably also the reason why the Grand Inquisitor is here, is because you can't kill Anakin, you can't kill Vader, and you can't kill Kenobi. You can't kill Leia, and you can't kill Luke. You can't kill Uncle Owen. You probably can't kill Bail Organa either.
No,
So
you
you're not left with like anybody else that we really know. So that's why Reva's here, and that's why the Grand Inquisitor's here. You can't have you have to have a bittersweet ending. We're not gonna. I talked about it our last discussion.
Mhm.
You're not gonna get a massively satisfying ending by the end of the show because
Yeah.
we know the story continues, the saga continues. So you're gonna have some bodies drop. And it's gonna have
Do you have to though? Do you?
You
That's
have
the thing.
to. You
No,
absolutely have to.
you don't have to. That's the
Cue
thing.
when the bodies
That's
hit the floor.
forcefully really trying to kill people. That kind of doesn't make sense.
Name a Star Wars movie where there's no Jedi or Sith dying. You have to kill somebody.
Yeah, but
It's a
that's the
Star
episode
Wars
though.
movie.
Those are actual. These are movies though. This is not a series though. That's what I'm saying. One could argue that.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna.
Has a
have
Jedi
to,
died in a
bodies
series?
have to drop.
Has a Jedi died in the
Yes,
series?
yes. Homeboy in the early
not-
episodes. He was a Jedi on the run.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! Besides him, live
What-
action.
what Ted was
Besides
saying
him,
is-
was a
Qui-Gon,
Yeah.
what
Ted
do
is
you
saying
mean?
is to keep canon.
yeah.
Certain people can't die.
To not
a lot of
break
those
canon.
Yeah.
characters are essential to the story. So somebody's gonna have to die. So Ted is saying that Riva is here, and some of these other ancillary characters are here because they have to take the fall because you can't kill characters that break canon in the
Right.
future.
Yeah. No, that
So
makes
I
sense. Yeah.
don't think Riva makes it out by the end of the series.
So
I'm also
they brought her to kill her. Then that's what
assuming
you're saying.
they brought her in here because
To
we
kill
need
her.
people to kill off. Yes. Now she might have a good satisfying arc by the end of this. You know, maybe she takes out the Grand Inquisitor in her last dying breath, which
Oh.
I still don't know how she's impaled moving around, but they're trying to
They're trying to pull a Darth
answer that
Maul.
question. They're trying to answer that question by saying, like, if you have the will to live, you'll survive. And so it's like,
That don't make any sense, but whatever.
give us something better.
Yeah,
I wish
I agree
wish
with
there
that.
was something different. You know,
Yeah.
make Vader. Well, you know, he has the Force. I get it, but if there was a different way, I would appreciate it more. But it's fine the way it is. I just think that this series will end how I guessed last time. Kenobi's either going to fake his death or make Vader think he's dead,
Mhm.
or somehow Vader's going to give him a pass. I actually thought he would have prevented Vader being killed somehow, and then Vader would have given Kenobi a pass at that point, and would
Mhm.
have been like, "All right, look, I'll give you one. I'll chase you later on, but I'll give you 5 minute head start," and then he loses him forever. But now I feel like now that Riva's already tried and failed, the only thing left is Kenobi fakes his death somehow, and I have no idea. I have zero idea how they're going to try to incorporate Luke into the story. So I'm not going to try and guess what they're going to do with Luke. I feel like we didn't need Luke. I was fine with saving
Yeah,
Leia
same
this whole
here.
time.
Same here.
I don't know, and I don't know if they have enough time. I will say part 5 was the best pacing of any of the episodes so far.
Yeah.
So I appreciate part 5 a lot. It might be my favorite so far, and those are my thoughts. Joseph says, I think it was the wrong way to bring Hayden into the show. What are you talking about? He says, my theory is that Leia gets home, Kenobi lives, and Vader lives.
Obviously.
Well done, sir. Well done. Daniel
Obviously.
says they are really
Yeah.
sticking to that line. The last time Vader was the learner. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Which
Yeah.
one can
Well-
can argue that Vader was not the learner anymore this time. But again, perhaps I think the only thing you can do now is Kenobi fakes
I'm-
his death, and that's it.
I'm actually
Why else would Vader stop looking for him?
I'm actually upset that again though we didn't need it, right? They could have just done it. Easter eggs was that I'm kind of upset we don't see Governor Tarkin in here at least a little bit or even mention him. They don't say Thrawn either. They don't mention a lot
Too
of
many
these.
characters. That'd
A
be
lot of
20.
these, a lot just mention though, like Thrawn's headed to this, like just to give us a teaser, like okay, Ahsoka's gonna maybe give us Thrawn, us maybe, and just to where like you connect because eventually what they're trying to do is what Marvel is doing right now, which is trying to really try to put the TV series with the Marvel movies, and it's just really trying to connect it all. And essentially, they're trying to put the TV shows, the Star Wars TV shows, kind of like intertwine with each other. That's what they're really trying to do in reality, and it could work. It really could, or it could be an epic fail and just like but again, I mean, they're really relying so wholeheartedly on the Mandalorian. But yeah, but overall, I mean, it was good. I just wish they could have showed like a little bit more like of the Empire side of how they do things to a certain degree, at least a little bit behind the scenes stuff. I mean, Reva, even in that episode too, Reva was even fighting, like she was just setting the troopers. She didn't even want to fight. I was like, what is she doing? She's supposed to be an Inquisitor. Every time there's always been an Inquisitor. Every time and again, I'm just talking about cartoons. I'm not talking about anything else. Cartoons, call them whatever you want them. Animation cartoons. Every time there's been an Inquisitor, they've always been in the front of the line because they're so obsessed of catching Jedi. They're so obsessed with like hunting them because they're become extinct. But again, though, what do I know? That's all I'm saying. What do I know? Again,
Send
it
in
just
the pawns.
it just doesn't make any sense. And then the stormtroopers, God, they're just horrible shooters, man. Oh my God, they couldn't hit that droid, bro. They could not hit that droid that was right in front of them. I was just like, wow, man, wow, this just
It took them a while, but yeah, it took
Yeah.
a while to get him down. Shout out to the 501st. Anytime that there's like more than a dozen stormtroopers on camera, it's usually the 501st in that area that
there you
they're
go.
actually calling in to bring in
That was
very
a good amount.
authentic, very authentic looking suits. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming they actually had some members from the 501st there. Brett's also in the chat still says, I think Reva is going to help Kenobi by pretending that she killed him to rob Vader of his revenge and redeem herself. I like that. She knows that he's going to go back to Tatooine, so she'll head there and meet with Kenobi and set the whole thing up.
That's
That's risky though, right?
that's too predictable. I mean,
No, I don't think so.
it kind of. I mean, I don't know. It just.
I
I
like
just.
it.
Again, I just hope that her.
You have to do what
I
makes
mean,
sense.
hey,
And there's not a lot that makes sense.
Again, I don't know why. Like, I agree with you, Ted. Like, I don't know why they brought in Luke to begin with. It's only one more episode left. What more can they really get? Like, what more context can we get Luke of? You know,
I don't know what the information. The only thing that makes sense is what Brett says. Because what other actions will Reva take knowing that Luke exists? She's not going to help Vader.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, and yeah,
Kenobi, that's it.
And again, it comes to the thing, because every single series, like cartoon series, when it comes to Rebels, when it comes to, they always mention like Kid Luke and all this stuff. Now, it's funny because my wife mentioned it. She's like, we never got to see Leia grow up. So we saw that was different. That was something that I really did enjoy. Their chemistry together was just so phenomenal. Ewan, and what do you call it? Obi-Wan and Leia was just their chemistry together was just so really good, man. It felt so natural. Again, it's probably just because Ewan has daughters himself, so it felt very natural, and it felt very good to see that. So, I mean, again, they really are. They're really a good team right there. And
Absolutely.
seeing Leia just so different again, but I just don't know why they're bringing in Luke for one more episode.
We'll find out.
Because we saw him episode 1, and then now we're seeing him in the end of this episode, and then we'll see him the next one. So this should have been a movie. I'm gonna say it right now. This should have been a movie. I'm legit. This would have been a really solid film. It really would have a really good solid film. It would have made a lot of money. Disney. It would have made a lot of money, guaranteed. Because I mean, who would have thought that the first two because they released 2 episodes, right, of a premiere of the Obi-Wan,
right? Yeah.
Did y'all see that it was like the #1 show ever on Disney Plus to stream within 24 hours?
Absolutely.
That is insane. It wasn't Marvel. It was Star Wars. It was Obi-Wan. That's all I'm saying.
Is it because though they released 2 episodes and they counted both of them? That might be part of it.
And Star Wars Celebration, and
just saying.
I mean, they released it. Oh no, Star Wars Celebration was beginning. Oh no, wait. Oh no, it was that weekend. Yeah,
it was.
Well, I mean, again though, one could argue that people were busy at Celebration, because they even had like a Star Wars night.
Everybody is streaming it on whatever they have that night, true, and they're going back.
They would have, man. They would have 10 times that night. 10 times.
Hey, all I'm saying is that the marketing, because everyone wanted it to be May the 4th, and I was all like, wait, no, because Star Wars Celebration is later that month. They're either going to release it May the 4th or Star Wars Celebration, and they did really good marketing on it, I would think, because it was everywhere. It was everywhere. On ESPN.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So
synergy with Disney and ABC properties. Matt, we got to hear from you, sir. Tell us how this entire thing's going to end.
Well, I wish that we would have gotten to what we had last episode a little bit earlier in the series. I do see faults in the series, but this episode tied in a lot of that for me. I think it did establish a solid storyline for Reva. I think bringing in Luke at the end was to remind us of what's actually at stake. We've been a little distracted for a few episodes. This is reminding us of Obi-Wan's primary mission, which is to take care of Luke. And we know how important that is moving forward. So I think that's why they wanted to remind us and let us know the weight that's on his shoulders, and that what his real responsibility is. And I think I loved a lot of the things that they set up. I love the callbacks to Force Unleashed with Vader's powers. I loved how he toyed with Reva and fought her without lightsaber for a good minute, then took her lightsaber away from her, and then threw her the lightsaber to give her a fair shot.
That was awesome.
I mean, it was insane how cool that was, and what a moment that really is for us in Star Wars. I think we can get hung up on whether you like the series or not, but even just getting that scene out of this series is important for us moving forward. I thought this episode did a great job to redeem me on the show a little bit, and I am excited about number 6. I think I've been right a little bit about the storyline so far. So I think that my theory of what's going to happen next can be proven true. I think Obi-Wan and Riva is going to help Obi-Wan escape from Vader, whatever it might be. So Vader and Kenobi are in a fight. We know to keep canon that Obi-Wan has to somehow come out a little bit ahead here. We don't know what that means. That
Yeah.
can mean a variety of things, but we have to have Obi-Wan kind of get over on Vader here a little bit, and I think Riva's the one who helps him do it.
I mean, a lot. If you say that, if you're right, 100% right, then that means the show's very predictable, and you caught it. And that's the thing too. I mean, I'm gonna say that, man. I mean, it's just it that makes sense. I'm gonna agree with you, man. I mean, that makes complete sense. Exactly what you said.
To be 100% fair, though, like there's very few things that are allowed to happen. So I think it's less about predictability. You can't say, "Oh, Kenobi's gonna kill him," or you can't say, "Oh, Vader's
Well, no,
gonna kill Kenobi."
obviously the same factors, but for him to get the whole outline of the story again, if he's right, he was in the writing room or something with Dave Filoni and all them. He was, Matt. I mean, he was in there, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but here's one question I do have before I wrap. What's the over/under? Let's say over 60% that we see another living Jedi in this last episode, whether that be Cal Kestis, whether that be maybe Ahsoka. I would love to see Cal Kestis because this is happening kind of all around the same time. I would love to. I think. What are the odds of us seeing another working, moving, living, not encased in amber,
not ghost,
Jedi?
Not a ghost, because
not a ghost.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Not Qui-Gon, yeah.
I'm upset we did not get Qui-Gon again. This
We're
is me saying
getting him in the
episode
last
5.
episode.
But hey, all I'm
we
saying,
knew we were getting Qui-Gon in the last episode.
We're saying we're guaranteed, right? But
Guaranteed.
But I'm gonna be very upset. I'm gonna let it right now. If they do not put Qui-Gon in here, I'm gonna be very upset. Missed opportunity, Disney. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, for real, if they don't put him. But anyways, I just Cal, it's funny how you mentioned that because literally 6 months ago they released his lightsaber at Disneyland. That's funny you mentioned that because literally they promoted it. They did a big old promotion for it. How his lightsaber's never been at Galaxy's Edge. So knowing that they market it like that, they don't do it knowing that they did that. They're not going to do that without having somewhat of a plan.
We just got the teaser of the game.
True. Yeah, the second game.
So I mean,
the second, right? Is the second game
marketing machine that Disney is? We're gearing up for that. His lightsaber's released in Galaxy's Edge. That's going to have a run until it ends, like the other ones do. So whatever timeline of that is, we're going to get a lot of content from Cal Kestis, I think. He's age appropriate. I mean, you could just throw him right in.
And it would show it should be a really good Easter egg, show Star Wars fans that it's canon and everything. I'm going to be very upset if they use Ahsoka again. I'll be right now. I'll be honest. Very upset.
I would completely
very upset. This is too much. This is too much
on Vader. With the show with Vader, you can't have Obi-Wan and Ahsoka working together.
Well,
it's just that was a brain F word.
Did you watch Rebels?
Oh yeah, but Ahsoka got away from Vader. I'm just saying, if Vader was confronted with Ahsoka and Obi-Wan at the same time, I mean, that would be the most insane scene that had ever existed in movie history.
Okay, I'll say that if we did not get Ahsoka in Book of Mandalorian, if we did not get him in there,
Book of the Mandalorian,
that's what I call that show. Yeah, sorry. So if we did not get Ahsoka in there, I would say we need Ahsoka now. But knowing that she was just in there, again though, there's just I hate to say this, man, but I just hope they don't overuse the same characters. Not the Mandalorian. I'm talking about Ahsoka. I'm talking about Luke. I hope they don't overuse CGI Luke.
Luckily, I bet it cost a lot of money to put Rosario Dawson through that makeup. So they probably want to avoid that route at all costs because
she's already coming out of the series. Let the series develop.
She'll do whatever.
Quinlan Voss, who we've already had a nod to in the season. Cal Kestis.
Yeah,
there's a couple of characters that I think they could have that Luke Skywalker moment at the end of when it's like, oh crap.
Or I've always been interested, but again though, it's just probably leaning towards Ahsoka. Was Kanan or Ezra? Or any of those
Captain
characters.
Rex
or Captain. Rex.
Ahsoka's gonna deal with all that. I think.
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough because I know at the very end when they first announced it, I was all like, it's gonna be Darth Maul. We're gonna see Darth Maul at the very last episode. But knowing that we actually did get Darth Maul in the very last episode before Rebels and all that, because in the last episode of Rebels was Obi-Wan fighting off Darth Maul. So knowing at Tatooine and everything, a lot older than what he is now. So, but I mean, it's again, if he's right, man, I mean, dude, it's predictable. I mean, that makes sense. Exactly what you said. I agree to that. But it's just, I just hope that doesn't happen. But again, though, it just, yeah, I mean,
Ooh, Brett with the hits. I think Brett is on this. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
no,
No, no,
you're
you're
good.
good. You're
Brett in the
good.
chat. Brett in the chat is what I didn't even think about this. Brett says a quick visit to Yoda to connect to Qui-Gon.
You
Like
know,
if Obi takes a quick visit to Yoda
no,
to figure out how to
I don't
do
think
this.
that would happen. I don't think that would happen. I think it's more of a force talk. I would see that more of,
Could be it. That could
yeah,
be it.
not actually going to Dagobah. I don't think he would go. I don't think he even knows where he's at. To be on the safe side, I don't think they want to know where each other's at. Um,
What if it's a force?
it's a
We've
force
had
space time.
no. Listen. Oh, no, close, but not that. Right.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Luke, old man Luke, was
Okay.
able to force project
Oh,
himself
but that's
in
Disney
in
though.
the
That's
Last
Disney
Jedi.
cat.
This is still Jedi. This
Okay,
is still Disney,
okay,
right?
dude,
So what I'm
shut. Oh
saying
my
is,
god, I hate
what
Last
I'm
Jedi. Don't mention
saying
that
is,
movie. Oh my
we're
god.
talking about what are the possibilities, and there's not a lot. There's not a lot of ways this can go down. So these are just the opportunities. What if, to help like cement that force ability, they're gonna have Kenobi do a force projection where he looks like he's being impaled or killed
Mhm.
by Vader, and it's going to be
Oh
so
wow, Ted.
believable.
Wow, Ted, that makes sense with The Last Jedi.
Filoni and Favreau have been making it a point to like save every criticism that Star Wars has ever received. That's why the Sarlacc pit, we went back to that thing. That's why they're bringing back midichlorians. Jar Jar will be back one day just to say, like, you
I
see,
want to,
fans, he
dude,
was cool
Jar
after
Jar
all.
spinoff. Give me a Jar Jar spinoff. I'll watch it every week.
Oh god. Yeah. They already put him in there in a Robot Chicken where he sees Darth Vader. He's all, Annie, what happened to you? So, yeah, have you ever seen that episode? Oh my god,
Oh
it's
yeah,
great.
I
But
used to love Robot
yeah.
Chicken.
Oh
Real
man.
quick, Daniel says Riva is going to be Obi-Wan's
I don't
apprentice. Bold claim, bold claim. Uh,
I don't think
That's
so.
taking it
Joe
far.
says maybe Windu would come back, and then he
Dude.
says, "No, I was kidding. That guy is dead."
Dang.
No, but I
Brett
don't know if there's
Brett
a reason
says
to bring back.
Quinlan Voss. Daniel says maybe we'll get a chipless Cody. That would be
Yeah,
dope.
without the resistor chip.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
I'm
Daniel
I'm
says on
trying to
Rebels,
remember.
Ezra did meet Yoda on the astral plane.
Yeah, when he went to the Jedi, I think he went to like some old Jedi temple. That's where he met him. When he first made his crystal, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken, but yeah, I could have sworn it was right before he got his Kaiba crystal for the very first time. Because when Yoda was still teaching and everything. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of things could happen here. But man, I just hope it's not predictable. I hope it's not what he says. I hope it's not like
Well,
that'd be very
I hope it's an
predictable.
hour long. I hope it's an hour
I,
long.
I hope
I
please,
it's over. I hope it's over an hour.
please.
It needs to be over an hour.
having watched Stranger Things, which is a masterclass in TV this season that they just put out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Epic.
it was like whatever. Like this one will be 40 minutes, and this one will be an hour and a half. Like we're
It's
gonna tell the
it's
story, and you're gonna watch it if you want to watch it.
it's
Yeah.
exciting to watch a TV episode of anything, and you check to see how much time is left, and you've got
Yeah.
like 2 solid hours left of content. You're like, what?
See,
That's something to you. It
I'm the
gets
complete
me
Yeah.
opposite.
excited.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm all like, if I'm into a TV show, I won't press pause or play. I'll just hold my pee, even though I have to go to the restroom or I have to take a shit. I'll just hold it throughout the whole until it's done. Be like, it's not over till it's over. I was like, that's how I do that. I mean, when I'm truly invested in something. So like, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm like that every Obi-Wan episode. So it's just again, it's as much as I critique and criticize Obi-Wan for what it is, I still love it. I still adore it. It's great to see Ewan McGregor back in the saddle again. So I mean, yeah, y'all throwing out so many guesses. It's bound to be
It's
one of
bound to
y'all's
be one of
guesses.
y'all's
One of y'all's
guesses.
guesses. I
Brett,
mean,
Brett also says that would be
I'd like
great
to put
see.
$5 on it. Let's go with $5 a piece, boys. All right, I'll
5
put my
pesos.
cat. I'll send you my. Yeah, we're gonna do $5. I think I got it. I think I know.
Uh,
I think I
Man, I
know
don't
how
know.
it's gonna end.
I
Brett
don't know.
says that would be great to see Kenobi telling Windu that Anakin is still alive and Windu just saying "Mother effer."
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Listen, we are excited as you guys, I'm sure, are about how this is all going to go down.
Just
We will be back. Joe says he's got 5 on it. This is
Oh
it's going to
man.
be an exciting finale. We'll be back next
Yeah.
week to talk about the Kenobi finale, and hopefully you guys will be joining us on that stream as well. We want to hear from you. If you're just watching this video or if you're listening to this on podcast form afterwards, let us know in the chat what your theories are about how the finale will go down. You can also send
Yeah.
us a message on Facebook by clicking that send message button, or you can always email us on the contact page of our website at
And
www.countdowntothegeekcast.com.
check us out on TikTok. TikTok.
TikTok, where
We got that. We
Geekcast is
just got
on
the
TikTok.
TikTok going, and so follow us at Countdown City Geeks on TikTok. Follow us. We're trying to get up there. I posted up 3 videos today that are pretty funny, and let's get it going. So follow us there too. We got to add that into the rotation.
Dang.
Absolutely. Do it. Next week, we're going to be continuing our discussion on Superman and Lois, as well as
God. Oh.
finishing our discussion on
Oh,
Young
sorry.
Justice.
Ted knows how I feel about that show.
I'm
Don't tell
repping it,
JC
so-
that. Don't tell JC.
Me and JC go on and on about that show, but yeah.
We're also going to be keep on the lookout for our finale discussion on Young Justice, and we're also starting our Miss Marvel discussion series. It's a fantastic show. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's very entertaining. You're gonna love it. For the Countdown to the Geekcast, my name is Steady. Joining me on this Kenobi Part 5 discussion is the one and only MattyB.
Yay!
And making his triumphant return from the Alamo City Movie Talk is Ryan.
What's going on, guys? Great talking movies, great talking Star Wars. I wish this should have been a movie. I'm gonna say that every single review, every time they mention Kenobi, it should have been a movie. It would have been. No, it really would. I would have think totally different of this, and I could have taken out a lot of this and just put it in one film, one Disney Plus movie. Definitely, that's all I'm saying.
We'll catch you next week, guys. Peace.